homeowners insurance, something every owner has to have.
But after their experience with Allstate, a Chatham County couple is filing a complaint saying they were told the only way to reinstate their homeowners policy was to agree to buy Allstate's auto insurance as well.
It was kind of like extortion, and is what I thought. I thought extortion was really the best way of doing it. Either, do this, or otherwise we won't do that for you.
Well, consumer reporter JoAnn Merrigan is looking into this and found the state insurance commissioner's office is doing the same. JoAnn?
Yeah, that's right, Russ. The Georgia Insurance Commissioner says his office is investigating Allstate practices, including what it calls forced bundling. Now, we need to make it clear that Allstate takes exception to that term and says that it is following all laws in Georgia. But first, let's hear the customer's story.
Why do we have to have auto insurance?
Tammy and Anthony Wyrith have decided when it comes to Allstate, maybe they're not in such good hands after all. Did you want to keep your home with them?
Yes, ma'am. I always wanted to keep my home with them. When I got the letter stating that, they were going to no longer renew my policy, I called them up, asked them what I could do to stay with them.
It started in December with a letter from Allstate saying it would not renew the couple's homeowners insurance at the end of January, even though they'd had the policy for 7 years.
What had happened was an actual lightning struck a tree in my backyard, which busted one of the branches off and went through one of my sheds in the backyard.
In an effort to keep his coverage, Wyrith spent $2,000 out of his pocket to cut the tree and repair the roof in the shed. But he did wonder how Allstate knew what had happened way back here, away from his house. He was told they'd sent out an inspector.
That they came in my backyard, they opened my gate and walked in my backyard to actually take pictures and to find a problem with my home so they could deny me insurance.
Okay, so he's a little irritated at this point, but he fixes the shed and assumes this means he can keep his homeowner's policy. Then he hears from his agent.
Called me back about an hour later and said the underwriters just called back and stated they would not reinsure my home without my auto insurance.
By now, Tammy is mad and she saves the voicemail from the agent.
Sent Thursday, January 19th at...
The agent has checked with higher-ups at Allstate and tells Tammy, quote, they're saying they do require the auto insurance for customers in your situation that they canceled because all of a sudden you're treated like a new customer.
This is not a new policy. This is the same policy. I don't have to have that. But now they're trying to strong-arm us into making us buy auto insurance.
I just didn't understand the whole situation at all. I kept trying to get answers. We even basically asked for it if we could have it in writing, and they wouldn't even give it to us in writing.
The Wyriths have 3 vehicles, so their auto insurance would have been a decent amount of money, but they wanted to keep one company for auto and keep Allstate for home.
Because they say that they're millions of dollars in debt on the coastal empire area, or in the coastal area. So they're actually telling me they won't insure anybody without auto insurance now.
The Wyriths have found out that other customers have complained about Allstate. They feel the company basically dug up a reason to try to drop them so it could eventually try to require them to buy auto insurance. But in the end, these are not customers that the company would want to do a commercial. That's for sure.
Don't blackmail me. If you're going to insure me, insure me. If you're going to blackmail me, I don't need you, and nobody needs you. Allstate shouldn't even be in business any longer if this is what they're going to do.
Well, the Georgia Insurance Commissioner Ralph Hudgens told me that he is looking at Allstate's underwriting practices, especially complaints that the company's finding reasons to try to drop people.
We've had 479 inquiries and actually 39 complaints against Allstate. Allstate is like the big leagues compared to Little League Baseball. They stand out. We're taking a good hard look at this. In fact, I have ordered an investigation. This investigation is actually called a market conduct examination.
Well, Hudgens says requiring bundling to renew a policy is illegal in Georgia, but an Allstate spokesman told me that is not what the company is doing. First spokesman Tracy Owens told me Allstate is complying with all laws in Georgia. He acknowledged that in 6 coastal counties, including Chatham County, Allstate does now require someone to have auto insurance for 60 days before they will write a homeowner's policy. But Owens says that is for new policies. He says in the case of the Wyriths, because their policy would have expired at the end of January, that it was being rewritten. and was therefore a new policy. Now that's even though the couple says that it was the same policy and that they had been customers for 7 years. Well, still the insurance commissioner says he is very concerned and says if any wrongdoing is found that Allstate could be fined. Allstate says it will cooperate fully with the insurance commissioner's office. JoAnn Merrigan, WSAV News 3.
Your side follow-up now to a story about Allstate Insurance that's definitely prompted some response. Last night, consumer reporter JoAnn Merrigan introduced us to Anthony and Tammy Wyrath. They say Allstate planned to cancel their homeowner's policy, but later said it could be rewritten as a new policy, but only if they also bought auto insurance.
Don't blackmail me. If you're going to insure me, insure me. If you're going to blackmail me, I don't need you, and nobody needs you. Allstate shouldn't even be in business any longer if this is what they're going to do.
Well, today we heard from several other homeowners with similar complaints about Allstate.
When I saw the piece that you guys had that was going on, I immediately called my wife because since we've been battling with them, and when I saw the piece that you guys had, I was like, wow, that's us.
Here is 3 on Your Side consumer reporter JoAnn Merrigan back with more. JoAnn?
Yeah, that's right, Tina. State Insurance Commissioner Ralph Hudgens says his office is investigating complaints and actually began looking into Allstate's underwriting practices last summer. He wants to know why some homeowners are being dropped and then being told they can be reinstated, but only as new customers. Allstate has told us that it's following all laws in Georgia, although it does acknowledge it is requiring bundling for some policyholders.
I'm digging. I'm nesting in this fluffy stuff. I've already had like 4 babies.
Allstate's popular Mayhem commercials for homeowners insurance struck a chord with Tyrone and Angela Williams, but not in a good way.
Allstate to this day have not yet given me a complete answer to why this is happening.
They say their policy is mayhem, all right. Last April, the premium went up $150 a month with no notice.
I never got a letter explaining to me, and the first time I've ever known anything about this is when I called my mortgage company and find out why did my mortgage go up $150 more, and then that's when it was all discovered. It was actually the insurance company.
Do you feel you've ever gotten a real explanation from Allstate?
No. No communication, no explanation.
Nothing in writing?
No, nothing at all.
Tyrone says he was basically told his higher rates were the result of not having auto insurance.
This is the only way that I could have brought my insurance down, by bundling it.
Nationwide Insurance, talk to me.
Should I bundle all my policies?
Bundling is something all insurance companies are doing. This ad from Nationwide shows it's trying to get people to buy multiple policies. But Georgia's insurance commissioner says bundling should not be forced on a customer.
It's against the law to force somebody to do that. You cannot require. Now, you can offer a discount if somebody decides to do it, but it needs to be the consumer's their desire to get that discount and to place their auto or any other coverage together with their homeowners.
The insurance commissioner says issues about Allstate first surfaced last summer.
Well, the complaint at that time mostly was because they had been writing their coverage for many years, and then they're coming in and changing their underwriting guidelines, and that's against the law too.
We also heard from another customer that faxed us this cancellation notice he received from Allstate. Companies can reassess risk, but the insurance commissioner says cancellation must be based on real changes to the condition of the property, not a change of heart by Allstate. What would your message be to Allstate?
Well, I think they know our message is the fact that we're very troubled by this spike in this number of complaints or inquiries that are coming about their service.
But what you're doing, you're forcing my hand and making me choose to go with you.
The Williams are concerned because their renewal date is coming up again in April, and they fear they may be canceled or told bundle or else.
What the insurance companies are doing, I really believe that someone needs to step in and says enough is enough.
Well, despite the concerns you just heard from the insurance commissioner, Allstate continues to tell us that it is complying with the law in Georgia. A spokesman does say that in 6 coastal counties, including Chatham County, Allstate does now require new customers to have auto insurance for 60 days before they will write a homeowner's policy. The issue for the state may end up being how to define a new customer according to the law. Well, meanwhile, anyone with concerns should contact the insurance commissioner's office at this number, 1-800-656-2298. The commissioner says if violations are proven, Allstate could be fined as much as $5,000 per violation. JoAnn Merrigan, WSAV News 3.